Welcome in to Taco Bowler Gaming. My name is Taco Bowler, and today we're beginning a new campaign and a new game on the channel, a new game in the world. Victoria 3, we're going to be playing today as the United States of America. And, like I said, this is a brand new game. It literally came out an hour ago. I've managed to install it and get everything going. Obviously, I don't have, I'm not anywhere near large enough to get, like, access or anything, so this is, sorry, it's adjust my camera. So this is a lot of trial and a lot of error, I'm sure. We're into the learn the game scenario, and I went ahead and did that. Now, the United States is not one of the nations that's recommended for that, but I went ahead and did the United States anyway, because that's where I live, and that's what I was interested in. One of the things about that, though, is that you can have achievements in this game. Without Iron Man, you can have achievements in this game with, of course, the difficulty. You can have achievements in any Paradox game with the difficulty moving around. When you select Learn the Game, it suggests that you put the AI aggressiveness and the AI aggressiveness to low and the AI relations to the player as lenient. Because I did not turn achievements off, because I want to keep earning achievements to keep this campaign going for a while, I decided not to do that. The other option would have been to kind of like do a tutorial game for a few episodes and come back to it later, because obviously I'm recording this in hours before it goes out. But I've decided not to do that. So we're a little bit harder than the game recommends you start. Of course, I do have some history at Hearts 4 and EU4 and even some Crusader Kings 2, not 3. So maybe that will help me with Paradox thinking and Paradox games in that way. But yeah, we're playing a nation that you're not supposed to play with the tutorial. A little bit bigger, I assume, a little bit more problems. I do not know where this will go or where it won't. Right now, the planned goal of the run is to go west, young man. My true goal, is to get the one where you have 100 states as the United States of America, but I kind of figure like that's probably one that's going to take a little bit better gameplay than I'm going to have in my first run. So the stated goal right now is go west, young man, which will require that we take the western coast, Washington, Oregon, California area, and that we have several people within them. I don't know the exact amount that we need to have within them. So we'll get the states under our control, which will be hard enough because this is under British control. But get the states under our control, and then also make them, colonial stuff. And I'm sure that this run will have many, many achievements in it, as is usually the case with these first kind of runs. You have the kind of like getting started achievements kind of deal. I'm also playing around with where to put the camera and everything on things. So please do let me know. I'll have 6 episodes recorded, and then I'll be taking a little bit of a break, possibly not. We'll see, but definitely the first 6 episodes or so will probably go up. Will probably be recorded before the first one goes up. But after that, you can help me move things around. Let me know how things are sounding, things along those lines. That reminds me, I need to get my headphones. I'll be right back. Okay, I've got my headphones. Now I can hear the game. It's pretty music. I like it. So anyway, this is definitely intended as a tutorial and kind of a tutorial for me, but over here there's an hourglass. There's not really anything that I'm seeing that's really missing. So over here, which is where the camera normally goes, we have journal entries, so I figured that was more important than an hourglass, but we'll see if something pops up over there. What I'm noticing is there's not a map anywhere at the moment, so that might be something that I can adjust on the settings. I don't know. But yeah, here we are with this, and so I'm going to read some of this stuff. I think this is part of the. This says skip lesson. This is the tutorial. So this is part of that, and this is definitely intended as a beginning of a tutorial here. Let's get started. The year is 1836. Andrew Jackson is President of the United States of America. The Industrial Revolution is well underway, bringing cataclysmic social change along with it. More than 20 years have passed since the Congress of Vienna imposed some semblance of order upon Europe, and unrest is once again starting to brew amongst the great powers. It will be up to you to guide the United States of America to glory. Over the following century, there is no one way to win in Victoria 3. You set your own goals and experience different stories in the process of pursuing them. The core gameplay. It's about taking charge of, growing, and shaping a Victorian-era country with primary focus on economics and politics. You'll be constructing a society of your own imagination while overcoming internal and external obstacles. So we have politics, economics, budget, diplomacy, and war, military. These are all tools to that end, but must be employed with care, as your population have needs and desires of their own. Your decisions will impact them, and they will in turn attempt to influence you. I should note that I've tried to watch some of these gameplay stuff that they've talked about, and they've streamed and things like that, and it's hard for me to understand what they're doing and the thought processes without having played it and knowing some of the terminology and things. So I didn't really get much from that, but I do understand a little bit that we have to worry a lot about training and or not training, goods and needs and things like that. So we have that there. This is a dynamic simulation with many moving parts. All your actions will have consequences, even unintended ones. This is normal and expected. You do not learn how everything works before you play. Take it slow and learn from your mistakes, and you will soon be an expert policymaker. That's one thing that I'm doing, is I'm going to be taking it slow. One of the reasons why I'm not sure I'll be able to get to the 100 states in time. Use the keys. Okay, so that works. Okay, scroll wheel zooms in and out. Pan the map, and holding tab, you can see an instant overview of the whole world. Oh, interesting. Cool. Cool. Sometimes you will see underlined texts or a colored name or concept. However, hover your cursor over such text to get more of information. This is a tooltip. Can I get more? Yes, I can, within the tooltip. Keep your cursor still for a moment. The tooltip will get a solid border and lock in place. You can then find new underlined text, names, concepts, or they'll hover in there. So, yeah, okay. Okay, I see. I see. To continue, place your mouth. Yeah. 3 capacities measure different aspects of your country's power. Mouse over the orange text to get more information. One thing I did One thing I did hear is that we don't have anything that looks like monarch power, or any of the stuff like we saw from Imperator Rome in its beginning stages. So we have some power, but it doesn't like build or anything along those lines. Okay, that's interesting. All right, 3 capacities here. Mouse over the orange text to get more information. Bureaucracy is the capacity to maintain your country's administrative cohesion. The cost increases with population across incorporated states with every institution investment level, and is used. You gain it from operating government administration buildings. Authority is used to change your country, issuing decrees, managing interest groups. You gain it from laws. And influence is a capacity for diplomatic actions of pacts targeting another country. You gain that from your rank. What's a rank? It's determined by its prestige relative to other countries in the world. It determines what sort of international capacities you have permitted in... Okay. Your current rank is a great power, which gives the following benefits. 100 maneuvers per diplomatic play, plus 5 maximum declared entrance, influence, 50% loan rate. So I'm guessing that number 6 here is our ranking. Yes. 216 is currently the barrier for great power. I was hoping... Oh, yeah, there we go. So the great powers of the world. Great Britain, France, King, is listed at 12th. Let's sort by rank, please. We are the final great power. Okay. But interesting that some of these nations are above the 216, but for whatever reason they're not considered great power. Capacities originate from some government buildings, certain laws, and your rank respectively. You can get to decide how you allocate them. Unspent capacity will provide a minor boost to one aspect of your country, while overspending will incur a major penalty. Money will fund the state's apparatus. The vast majority of money in your country is circulated by buildings and pops, and is outside your direct control. Buildings and pops can be taxed to grow and improve your economy. Decrease your expenses by minimizing the operating costs of government buildings. Balance shown at the top bar reflects a weekly change. Unlike capacities, money can be saved to be spent later, though going into debt by running a negative weekly balance can often yield a better return. Loans will be automatically repaid while your weekly balance is positive. Okay. On the left side of the screen, we see a number of buttons that can take you to screens showing an overview of different aspects of the U.S. Some are used to manage the country, while others are informational. Feel free to look through them and press next when ready. So yeah, we have these various things here. Our taxation level is where it is. Okay. Technology, I know there's stuff to go through all this technology tree for achievements. The bottom of the string has 5 lenses to provide easy access to actions you can take to shape your country combined with information you need. Production is good for expanding industries to promote goods and provides details about your economic output. Politics is for managing the government and your population, provides details about power balance. Diplomacy is for initiating or breaking pacts with other countries or starting diplomatic plays against them. Provides details on how countries perceive you. Military is for expanding your army and navy and recruiting commanders. Provides details about wartime matters. Trade lets you expand trade infrastructure, establish trade routes, and gives you information about markets. All right, well, let's take a look at the political lens. Each lens has its own map mode. Zoom out to take a look at the map and see what details just changed. We have only New York. Clicking on each lens, looking at the map, you can give a hunch of what's going on in your country. When you're ready to move on, close the lens. Oh, I can move around here. Okay. States that are fully integrated into a country, POPs and incorporated states pay taxes, gain access to benefits from institutions, and participate fully in the country's political system. Unincorporated states can be incorporated through a sometimes lengthy process, and this is a slave state. So for instance, Kansas here, my home state, is an unincorporated state. We can incorporate it when it's no longer a growing colony. Okay. Decrees. State actions. Change the capital. Okay, so I'm guessing New York is our capital state, which doesn't make much sense, but probably is good for the Civil War coming up, because inevitably the U.S. will probably wind up in Civil War. There we go. Alright, finally, pausing introduction. Adjust the speed of the game and pause, unpause, and the highlighted speed controls. You can also pause and unpause by hitting space. Good, so that continues. Timeline of Victoria's Peace spans 100 years from 1836 to 1936. You can adjust the tempo yourself. Right now, time is standing still because the game is paused. While the game is paused, you can still interact with it, but many actions transpire over time and require the clock to run to have any effect. For this part of the tutorial, we'll keep the game paused while we walk you through some fundamentals. Take note of the highlighted speed controls so we can unpause the game. Here we go. You've just been given your first tutorial challenge. We have paused the game to give you time to read. Okay, so wow, this is a lot of stuff here. Remember to unpause using the speed controls. Open the journal by clicking the highlighted button on the left to begin. That one here. Okay. Okay. So we have the slavery debate. That leads to the Civil War. Okay. And then, of course, Texan statehood. So I think that's what we had here. Yeah, Southern planters, intelligentsia, and Southern planters now powerful factions within our government. So, all right, you should inspect the tutorial challenge you've been given. Open open it and expand a basic building journal entry to continue. Expand the livestock ranches in Pennsylvania. You've been tasked with expanding a basic agricultural building in one of your states. As you play the game, more tutorial challenges like this will appear in your journal. You can either try to complete the challenge yourself without any guidance, or click the Tell Me How button for a walkthrough. You can also click the Tell Me Why button for more in-depth information about why it's important. Definitely tell me why. Okay, I understand. Tell me why. A safe way of growing your economy is by expanding a basic resource, building that produces a good staple like fabric. They're consumed directly by most of your pops, who will buy it from the producer's building. Enriching the workforce, which you can tax to earn money from the treasury. These funds can be used to expand other parts of your industry. We will use your livestock ranches in Pennsylvania as an example. Hover over your mouse over the state name of Pennsylvania. This will highlight its location somewhere in the map of the United States of America. Yeah, thank you. All buildings can be found under the Buildings tab. In the Building Overview panel, you'll see an overview of buildings that are present in the state of Pennsylvania, grouped by the 4 categories: urban, resource, agriculture, and development. Okay, so it's going to be in agriculture, right? Yep, there it is. Okay, under the process section, we find the building's weekly balance. A positive balance means the building is profitable. You can see how that profit is allocated in the tooltip right there. If an industry has a negative weekly balance, it loses money, which is generally bad. This will be covered in the upcoming tutorial challenge. These are the building expenses. They're including the wages of the building's workforce. It may also include other expenses and the money or currencies such as goods required in the manufacturing process and infrastructure usage levied on its estate. These are buildings' revenues. The livestock ranches produces fabric as their primary output good, but may also have secondary products. Many buildings can produce several different types of good. Produced goods are sold to pops, or other buildings at prices that fluctuate depending on market conditions. Buildings do not provide its income to you directly. They provide pops, jobs, and wages. Okay? We're going to click the Workforce tab. One way for you to gain income from this is to tax your employed pops. How much you tax is up to you and can be changed in the budget panel. I saw that earlier. Expanding a building, such as livestock ranches, increases how many pops can work there and enriches the rest of your country's pops by giving them access to fabric at a lower cost than before. But before you go and expand all your buildings, remember there is a cost to expanding buildings, and not all buildings are suitable for expansion. You'll learn more about how to identify good candidates in upcoming tutorial challenges. For now, expanding agricultural buildings, such as livestock ranches, are usually a safe bet. I understand. So, how do I expand it? Buildings are there. Find the state of Pennsylvania. Got it. We're going to look for the livestock ranches. Okay. You now get the detailed information and expand the livestock ranches. We'll cover that later. You can use the lenses. Okay. Start the expansion here. So it's 3 of 140. That's a lot of available land. All right. We've successfully ordered the expansion of livestock ranches in Pennsylvania. Buildings take time to expand. The livestock ranches have been planted in the construction queue and will be constructed within several weeks. While waiting for this process to complete, keep playing the game. More journal entries will appear to teach you about different game mechanics. I understand. I am highly interested in getting some stuff prepared for war later on, which I assume will require iron. Which I assume is dealing with some of these mines and things. Let's go to Wisconsin. Iron mines, there we go. Production lens. Let's look at this. Resources. Iron mines. All sorts of places have iron mines. The predicted impact of expansion. Okay, so this would predictably lower things. Let's go to the iron. No. No, stop. Iron mines. What does this output? It just outputs iron. It brings in tools and coal and outputs iron. Okay. Let's go to the military here. Barracks. So this would be what we would need for stuff. We have a ton of peasants in some of these places here. So that would be where I'm looking at is like, okay, peasants are probably what we would want to do for that. Okay. Alright, well, let's just keep going with the tutorial and figure out what they're going to have me do. We've declared a rivalry over here. Denmark has declared a rivalry with Spain. Can I declare a rivalry with Mexico? That might be something that we can do later on. So let's just continue on. I do like that the game's days go a little bit slow, but this does feel like it's going to be a very short thing here. Granada and Mexico are rivals. That seems seems like you're picking on someone who is not the same size as you, but okay. New Granada's down here. Oh, okay, I see. Alright, well, let's open the diplomacy menu. Ah, here we go. Begin improving relations with New Granada. And can I expel diplomats? Alright, well, we'll just begin to improve relations with New Granada, as is. Alright, so let's take a look at the slavery debate, because that's a thing for the United States that's not going to be there. Alright, we'll complete if the following has been true for a total of 10 years. If we have enacted slavery... Okay. So, if we are able to enact slavery ban for 10 years, we succeed. If we go into civil war, we fail. Okay. There are disappearing interests. We have interests that are going to disappear soon. We can declare interests in the Great Plains. Here, okay. In wetlands, diplomatic. Alright. We're going to declare interests. I currently have 8 interests. I have an interest in the Great Plains, please. I also do not have an interest down here. At least yet. I have a heavy interest in that. Right now. I'm going to lose my interest in New Granada. And I guess it could regain the interest here. Can't say I have an interest in Dixie. That stinks. Oh, I have an interest in Hawaii. Definitely have an interest in the Caribbean. Was that just like Oceania? Yeah, okay. It's just Oceania. I have an interest in Japan and Indonesia. And Indochina. I think that's more along where I'm wanting to go here. I want to get to where New Granada is considering me an ally of it, if possible. A proposed trade agreement they're not willing to accept. That's okay. We will get to that. So, I'm curious what these are here. Establishing American colonies. Okay. That's in Wyoming. This is American Colorado. Okay. That's Colorado. We're establishing a colony there. We're establishing a colony in Kansas and all that stuff. Good. Now we have, how about Oklahoma here? Not sure why. Colonize. I cannot colonize Texas. Okay. I'm not sure if that's good to have more colonies going or not, but... we shall see. It's been a lot of rivalries here, and we have a war with Texas. I definitely want to improve relations with you. Let's go to our military lens. We have 11 regular regiments, and we can conscript up to 200 and some odd. We have 2 generals. Winfield Scott and Zachary Taylor. All right. Naval base. Interesting. Right now, I'm not wanting to do anything that leads in the direction of war, but Texas is... a war between Mexico and Texas is not great. But I do want to kind of figure out what goes on with all this other stuff here, so... we are 80% of the way through this building. Let's get through the building first. Henry Clay, the leader of the intelligentsia, has proposed outright prohibiting slavery in all our new Western territories. Some opponents demand simple moderation. Others are demanding legalization of slavery in all territories. So if we reject this and remaining a state-by-state issue, we have a disappointing compromise for everybody. But only one loss versus 3 for the Southern planters. But we do get help there. And this would be 3 for everyone else, but 1. Right now, I think I want to keep it a state-by-state issue. 2 more weeks for that. Let's go to speed 4, since I'm proposing we just stick around here. All right, current situation. We have inactive trade routes. Okay. Unused construction production. Expensive government goods. Tools and wood. Where can we assign them? Okay. All right. Worcester versus Georgia. President Andrew Jackson has defied the ruling of the Supreme Court and ordered the removal of the Cherokee. Is that even legal? The Indian removal. The United States has enacted no colonial affairs. Cherokee is not discriminated against. No Cherokee pups remain in the United States. No colonial affairs would be in the politics, right? It's an institution. Decrees. I mean, I would assume that that would be a problem. Oh, I could colonize into Alberta if I really wanted. No. There you go, institutions. Colonial affairs is just growth. Decrease to level 1 would decrease the growth, so I think we ultimately wind up doing this here. Unless we can get this. Let's go to politics. Let's go to laws. And trying to figure out where that would be. Human rights. Slavery band is there. Okay. Oh, I see. All right, well, we'll take a look at this. But I think that we're just going to wind up with things here. Okay. Can open diplomacy here. Interactions. Rose trade agreement, they're still not willing to. Okay. Let's open diplomacy with Texas. Texas had a war? Maybe they just had a... oh, they have a truce now with Mexico. going to start bankrolling them. See what that does. Let's at least get through the thing here. Expanding a basic building was successfully completed. Okay, the expansion of livestock ranches in Pennsylvania you ordered some time ago is now complete. The building can now support a larger workforce and produce more goods. You also will no longer have to pay weekly material costs for the goods required in its expansion. The rate which you can order the expansion of buildings across the United States of America is limited by your construction sector, which can be expanded in exactly the same way as industries. Having constructor sector buildings in the same state as the buildings under construction will increase the efficiency of the construction. So I'm going to end this episode here, and I hope you're enjoying kind of walking through the beginnings of the game here, and we'll get through the tutorial sections, I'm sure, and really move on to expanding the United States out, maybe fighting the Civil War eventually. But I've been Talking About Gaming. I'll see you then.